Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hi, Whitney. Hi, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well out there. Oh, good Lord. Hello, DIY Magic. I've seen you too. I see your posts a lot. You should have some videos if you're calling yourself DIY Magic. But hello, y'all. I just got motivated to push this video live versus schedule it for something a bit more produced or barely produced, I guess you could say, down the road. This is a talk that I've been wanting to have for a while. And for those of you who know me and those of you who followed me and have ever had a real conversation with me free of projection and the magic of social media, you know that what I'm about to say is probably not going to be very friendly to a lot of folks who identify with a lot of the content I'm going to be talking about. But I was motivated to do this video. Well, I've been motivated to do this video for a while, but I got pushed today. It's really, really pushed. I just got done talking to some soul fam, my sister. Hello, shout out to you, baby. About something going on, not with her personally, but with somebody very important to her in her life, and how this person has been struggling with a lot of the trappings of fear porn, of conspiracy theories, of catastrophic behavior, catastrophic thinking, catastrophic media. And I also have people in my life that are very important and very dear to me who are gifted spiritual practitioners and natural gifted psychics, natural gifted, spiritually capable people who have also been susceptible to a lot of the negativity that gets spread around in those spaces. And in the past, especially even on Son of Selene, I have been pretty clear about how I, reject and disown everyone who kind of feels at home in that world. It doesn't really sink in sometimes with people, because if people are already in that kind of shiny, glassy eyed, Kool-Aid place, they're not going to hear you tell them you don't want them around, right? It's kind of like somebody you can't break up with. That's sort of the issue that I've noticed over on Son of Selene with a lot of the trenderism and whatnot. But in the past, I have talked about this topic in more of a way where I am discussing it from the point of view of these people, this content, this trend, this energy, this atmosphere needs to get the hell out of our community. We made a huge mistake by being compassionate and welcoming to them, and we need to get rid of them. And they should just be eliminated. They need to go back. They need to just go back to believing that they're fighting off reptiles with kratom green juice and yoga certificates, and leave the rest of us the hell alone. But I'm coming at this from a different point of view in this talk, and this actually is from a place of compassion for people who are um, maybe getting hit hard by a lot of what's going on out there. People who have been getting, you know, wound up, people who've been getting freaked out, people who've been having their energy hijacked, people who've been having their consciousness hijacked, people who've been having their, just having their whole kind of focus and concentration ruined throughout the course of this last few years. And a lot of it did start picking up, again, I've talked about it before, it's a very 2015 kind of thing. Interestingly enough, right, astrologically speaking, we're in the middle of a Venus retrograde shadow. Venus is undoing a lot of trends that got started in 2015, including this, which is great. But a lot of people who are gifted and skilled psychics, not people who are coming here because they got thonked on the head because they hit rock bottom somewhere, or had a breakup or a divorce, or a near death experience, and they became fascinated with themselves. But people who are naturally spiritually open and gifted are getting hijacked because they might not necessarily be aware of what they can do to repel or reject the energies of people who spread toxicity through conspiracy circles, fear porn circles, right? The histrionic masses. And you need to understand that all of that kind of stuff is ruining you and making you serve its own agenda at the same time. All right. My conspiracy theory about conspiracy theories is that while I do believe there is an awakening, there is an ascension of consciousness going on, I do believe that the best way to sabotage it would be to make it something it's not, making it all about politics, making it all about, again, politicized 12-step programs, believing that the spiritual awakening and getting out of the matrix somehow comes down to kratom and crypto, going into spaces where you are suddenly just a pawn, a conduit for the poison that you can't stop watching and you can't stop reading and you can't stop spreading. Do I believe, yeah, you want to go crazy with this? I do believe that that is the ultimate conspiracy. That is the ultimate one. You're still afraid of magic. You're still afraid of your own power. You are still believing that there's an external locus of control and you have none. And you're also dealing with an extremely narcissistic culture at the same time. Fear porn, conspiracy theories, all of that kind of stuff is extremely narcissistic in its core, right? Whether it's a grandiosity of believing that somehow you are ordained to be this messiah that is going to somehow, again, save the planet by waking everyone up to the virtues of filtered water, or you are a vulnerable narcissist and you are addicted to facilitating a world where everyone is constantly wounded and constantly healing because you know what? It's a good way to make money when you get people hooked on the meds, even if it's spiritual meds, even if it's talks, even if it's validation, even if it's wound licking. Lots of vampirism going on in the histrionic masses when it comes to that. If you feel that you've been sucked into a bit of a hole with this kind of stuff, ever, whether it's in recent history or in the past, I urge you to pay attention to who is profiting from your suffering. I urge you to see what the ad revenue or the subscription revenue for your fear is affording another person. What exactly are you getting informed about that is assisting you with developing your own consciousness right now? Because all of this stuff is getting in your way. All of this stuff, right? Freaking out about what's going on, 6,000 miles away, freaking out about what's going on in a space that has nothing to do with you, freaking out about what's going on, like you could do something about it. You know, I think that if you're inundated with information like that, it's a great way to keep you from developing your own skills. It's a great way to keep you from turning on your own abilities. It's a great way to keep you ignorant, frightened, dumb, and victimized. It's a great way to put you into a space where you are now a tool, right? What if the conspiracy is making you a receptacle and a conduit of a bunch of toxicity and negativity so that you will deliver it to your family, you'll deliver it to your friends, you'll deliver it to your soul groups, you'll deliver it. You will be the mule for the poison, for the miasma that's getting put out there. These cannot this is something where you've got to be a little bit more stern about shutting things down. And you might feel bad for a minute. You might be like, well, I don't think we should. Oh, but compassion says, oh, but compassion says. Here's the thing, guys. If we're going to be talking about love and light all the time, you guys got to understand what love and light really is. Love doesn't abide toxicity, dysfunction, chaos, miasma, poison, defilement, and contamination. Love can destroy things built of toxicity. Light can destroy things built of toxicity. A lot of people don't like to think of it that way because these are, because the distortions and the delusions that they wrap themselves in are more validating than maybe the challenging truth of, look, are we going to contemplate what something like love and light really is, or are we going to be looking for the vulnerable narcissist's, supply of comfort, attention, satiation, finite fuel, all of that, right? Because that is what's getting projected through all of these circles and spaces. I won't let anyone forget that, remember, we had a really good community, in the online spiritual world before all of this was allowed to come in. Before some idiots held the gates open and said, "We will take you in with compassion," and oh crap, you're just spreading disease. You can't plus one. If a person isn't fixed from that kind of mentality, that kind of world, they can't get into the party. That's just how we got to look at it. But for those of you who have been, again, maybe victims of this kind of thing, right? You've been wound up. You've had your life thrown off course. You've had people dumping all kinds of toxic energy, toxic emotions, sharing in the toxicity of the company kept digitally, socially, physically, it doesn't matter, right? The energy that co creates our reality does come from, in a large part, the company that we keep, which, of course, doesn't just mean our friends, our spouses, our family members. It also includes the media that we consume, right? It also includes the way we're keeping our home. It includes what we are choosing to share with. And so if you're wondering, why is this thing not working? Why is my true love kept at a distance? Why am I still broke and suffering? Why am I still tired? Why am I still drained? Why am I not making progress here? Look at the energy you're taking into your space. And also at the same time, look at the fear porn, look at the histrionics, look at the Kool-Aid drinkers, look at the conspiracy theories. What's going on there besides just a big needle share of cross-contamination? There are people that feed on your fear. And we have a term for that. Vampires, psychic vampires. They feed on your fear, or they feed on any of your emotional extremes. And it honestly, like, if you're not in a space where you are willing to leave the poisoned teat that is the world of mass histrionics, and conspiracy theories and fear porn and doomsday predictions, think about it this way: nothing sticks. There's always something that's going to destroy the world, right? We've always had something pop up. There's always something that's going to kill everybody, bankrupt the planet, nuke everything down, 19 comets, evil aliens, everyone getting sucked into hell. And we're all still here. Now look at your life and go, shit, while I was freaking out about that, was I building a life worth protecting from that? Am I building that life with the right people? Am I building that life in the right place? Am I building it the right way with the right means? Something's always come along to try and destroy the world, apparently, but nothing seems to stick. Or if something does happen, it's 1/10 or 1/100th of what people thought it was, right? It's like comparing Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island. There's a big difference there. And I think that what a lot of people need to remember is that you can change gears at any time. You can actually wake up, because I think a lot of people think they're awake, but they're really in a lucid dream, and a lucid dream that is still an artificial reality that's given to them. And there's more than one. It's not just one big great matrix. Lots of different places and lots of different systems and lots of different communities and arrangements have their own little matrices, right? A church, a religion can be a matrix. A political faction, all of them can be a matrix. A marriage can be a matrix. A family can be a matrix, right? Because they are egregores. They are constructs of energy that run a particular reality that is vibrationally consistent with that reality. A location could be a matrix. You have the power to switch gears whenever you decide to remember that you have free will and volition and you don't have to finish what you started. And that is what you need to do. Go unsubscribe from the people that count on you staying broken, histrionic, afraid, frail, fractious, contentious, hateful, lazy, you know, ineffectatious in order to make a buck. Because these people aren't healers. These people are not healers. If they count on you being sick, they're going to keep you sick. If they count on you staying addicted, then they're going to keep you addicted, right? It's not really an aspirational thing to be always healing, never healed. You got to check the efficacy of what's going on here. Are you just getting distracted? Are you just jumping from one reality matrix into another, which is still a construct created by another person? Ask yourself those things. And what got you there? Were you in a vulnerable place? Okay, how long has it been? Are you a vampire? You know, some people are. Some people go through, they're not really vampires, but they're kind of energy addicts. Maybe you're an energy addict, right? Maybe you're addicted to the highs and lows. Maybe you're addicted to the attention. You're addicted to the hallelujahs. You're addicted to the cray. You're addicted to the ambient spikes and crashes of fear and elation and all of this kind of craziness. And if that's the case, pay attention. Are you getting taken advantage of because you're not doing anything about that addiction? You're not doing anything about that energy addiction, that social addiction. One of the things people always talk about, wake up, sheeple, wake up, sheeple. Well, how many of these people are just sheep who decided to find another shepherd? It makes no sense to call people sheep when you are marketing a shepherd of your own. It makes no sense. We are in the middle, and actually we're beyond it now. We're at this point where there is this huge shift going on in our consciousness spiritually and throughout the entirety of the planet. The quote, Great Awakening is over. And now it's time for a great advancement, which means it's time to, stop acting like you are a victim in church that has just substituted the lexicon with a bunch of other crap and learn how to control your own energy and follow your own heart. Get in touch with your own heart. Know yourself. These people can't tell you. What can a purposeless, bored, just nothing, but time to kill person focusing on selling essential oils, green juice, yoga certificates, and kratom going to do to help you get in touch with your own divine multidimensional expanse, right? And how do you feel about the fact that, a lot of this community seems to be focused on maintaining that sort of, Judeo-Christian dogma, that Judeo-Christian hierarchy? Who's teaching anyone about real magic, real application of psychic and metaphysical abilities? Who is talking about it more than just being a cryptozoologist or a suspicious observer or whatever the hell people tell themselves to not look at the fact that they're wasting theirs and everyone else's time while also being a conduit for a bunch of toxic miasma and vitriol and sludge, right? This is how you're getting used. You think you're doing a good thing, but in actuality, you are taking on all of the garbage and negativity from, that creator or that, Reddit or that Facebook group or that community or that, that site. And you're taking it and you're just dumping it on all of your friends, and you're dumping it on your space, and you're dumping it on your dreams, and you're dumping it on your aspirations, and you're dumping it on your spiritual creations, and you're dumping it on basically your whole future. So tell me how this is helping you. Because a lot of people seem to be a lot worse off than they were in 2015 for it. They're more hateful. They're more dysregulated and unstable. They're more delusional. It's weird because, when you get to a point where a person's really spiritually advanced, they're not so easy to sway, right? They're not the type of person who's going to be caught up in fear porn. They're not going to be caught up in love spells. They're not going to be caught up in cult behavior. Somebody who really knows who they are isn't going to be pushing it either. They're going to be advocating for individual responsibility and individual growth, right? Your success, not conformity, is comfort. Really think about these kinds of things. Now, again, I do think that there are some parasites out there who are, who absolutely are lapping this up. Both the people putting it out there and the people who want to feed on the energy of the masses that are putting it out. But, you know, I think that knowing that, those of you who are genuine, those of you who do know yourselves, those of you who have had real, actual spiritual connections and experiences made with your own higher levels, and people who are truly connected to you, as well as people who are truly on themselves, take a step back. This is one of those situations where I don't think you're going to be able to raise the vibration of a sludge-filled abyss to the point where it's redeemable. It's better for everyone to just get the hell out. Okay? And for those of you who might be on the fence, I'm just going to say this. Look, these are the people that have essentially just pillaged, sold off, and commodified my culture and many cultures to the point where people who actually can do this, who are actually live this, have to work twice as hard to get half as much respect. I'm not talking about money, I mean respect and even awareness as somebody who is coming in as, I don't know, green juice Barbie or conspiracy theory Ken, right? Shallow bullshit. If they did it to this community, they're doing it to you. And they don't care if they're doing it to you. The bad guys dress themselves up as heroes, and you got to know when to pull back. And for those of you who are actually pretty gifted and skilled, that are just sort of watching to keep an eye on what's going on with the enemy, or the people that are there going, well, I want to keep an eye on what's going on because I think it'll be safe. I think, I just need to be up to speed on where the masses are, where the collective is. You're getting dosed, and it creeps up on you. Okay? You're getting dosed. And that, not only does it creep up, but again, we've all got problems going on in our own personal lives. We all face monsters and demons, sometimes figurative, sometimes literal, all the time. You might meet people at work who dump a bunch of energy on you, or an attachment might jump on you. Your spouse could be bringing it in. Your in-laws could be bringing it in. Your relatives could be bringing it in. My God, I had the battle of a lifetime with my dad just a couple of weeks ago. And when you engage that on top of the mass histrionics, the attention seeking, the fear porn mongering, the conspiracy theory traps, you're going to become a pawn, a blood pet, right? Something for the enemy to feed on. And honestly, you got to decide, are you going to let this ruin everything around you? Your relationships with your friends, your pursuits, your projects? Have you come down a bad road? Right? Have you come down a bad road? We have all had a lot of interesting intervention opportunities show up in this last 3 years or so. I've noticed that a lot more dissenting voices are finally rising up in legitimate spiritual communities. I've also noticed that, of course, there are going to be people who double down. Usually those are like the, upper middle class San Diego types going down and claiming that they're leading the ayahuasca retreat right in front of, the native tribesmen in Peru. And, that tribe's not seeing a cent. But ultimately, a lot of intervention opportunities to get out of this have shown up, okay, from 2020 till now. You don't need to do this anymore. You're not going to be helped. You're not getting any advantages. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your space. You're getting distanced from the wrong people and you're getting closer and bound to the wrong people. Okay? You need to put yourself in a space where you can go, okay, where exactly do I have a support system, informants, opportunities, and space and allies that can actually give me back what I think I should be getting from them or what I'm being told I'm being given from them, right? If this were all in real light, you know, um, if this were all like, your physical world right now, imagine you had a bunch of fake friends around you. Would you stay in that group, right? They're sending you love and light. They're telling you what you need to know about this and that. But at the same time, no one's really showing up for you. And if anything, you're just kind of becoming a receptacle for their garbage. I've left relationships that have basically been more like a hijacking because, well, my ex partner's personal issues and insecurities kept repelling good friends, good opportunities, and good things, right? And it happened so much in repetition. It's like, I can't have the life I want because I'm with you, and you don't seem to give a crap about helping me have a quality of life that's good for both of us, much less me. I had to leave. Yeah, you need to put that, you need to think about that when it comes to this media. You need to think about that when it comes to your friends, partners, family members, and where you think you're getting all your intel. It can feel good to get vampirized sometimes. Really, it can, because sometimes in the beginning you might think somebody's taking all the excess energy off and you're relaxing, you're getting chill, you're getting a chance to, kind of level out. If you're not careful with that, you might think that that's love. You might think that that's okay. And I think a lot of these spaces and a lot of these kinds of relationships and a lot of these types of people and a lot of these um, groups all operate in that way. You know, if you are psychically sensitive, I want you to understand that you're not picking up on the truth when you're getting weird visions from these people, these podcasts, these videos, these posts. You're picking up on the matrix they want you to live in. You are picking up on the reality they're projecting for you to see. I have somebody that I really care about in my life that sometimes struggles with this kind of thing. I hope not so much anymore. But we're very closely tied, energetically speaking. This is definitely like a twin situation. Um, when I feel that he's going through that, I will send so much purification just to kind of be like, hey, remember, that's a construct, that's a creation, that's an illusion, that's a glamour, that's a hallucination. And you might think that these, conspiracy theorists, these fear porners, these, histrionic masses, the trauma drama, all of that kind of stuff, you might think, okay, well, these people are all hurt and desperate. They deserve our compassion. Sure. But compassion is as compassion does. I can empathize with somebody's experience without necessarily without sympathizing with their choices. And the truth of the matter is, traumatized people traumatize people. Right? So who gets to process? Who gets to heal? Traumatized people traumatize people. So do we all have to take turns healing? Do we all have to take turns waiting for health? Be careful about how you externalize the way you process trauma or the way you process fear. because the way you process fear or the way you process trauma may exactly be the what traumatized another person, right? Imagine somebody's mom or somebody's ex husband or somebody's sister or whatever traumatize them by processing it the way that you are processing it in an unstable, dysregulated, crazy way. Who gets to be healed? I don't give a damn about how wounded everyone is. I really don't. Especially not when it's spreading poison. Okay? Karma includes unintended consequences and collateral damage. So, I just had to rant for half an hour. In short, conspiracy pushers, mass hysteria, fear porners, new age drug pushers, the blind leading the blind, you know, patients posing as doctors. They're all shit. And again, they've pillaged and raised this community. So I'll admit I'm a bit biased. I'm out for blood. But at the same time, I'm also out to avenge, people who are spiritually and psychically sensitive and aware, who are getting taken advantage of because maybe they don't have the kind of training or magical experience, but they have the psychic experience and they're exposed. And I was, when I, going through this, I was thinking about my friend's dude. Hey girl, I know you're in the audience. I was thinking about someone very dear and close to me, and a lot of people I've known who I need to, stick up for, and so now that's kind of what it is, right? Remember, love and light is as love and light does. It doesn't matter how pretty the frosting is if the cake tastes like shit or it's full of poison. It's a good thing to take home with yourself, honestly, just looking into any kind of thing, right? A living situation, a friendship, a job, a business partnership, a relationship, a family situation. Love is as love does. Light is as light does. Health is as health does. And all of those things, love, light, and health, it's about the highest interest of all concerned, not getting fascinated with yourself. If you relate to people who live from self-induced crisis to self-induced crisis while having somebody else tell them what they can do, what to eat, what to wear, what's good vibes, what's bad vibes, what's to watch, and kind of treating them like they're in a church with a lot of heavy oversight. If you relate to that, you got to look and see, oh my God, why do I get comforted by that kind of attention? Am I bringing fundamentalist transference back into my life? Am I deferring my own autonomy out to an external ego mass and I get comfort in the walls of its conformity? Because it happens, right? Obviously, that was a very thinly veiled reference to organized religion, but it happens in politics and it happens in families and it happens in schools and it happens in churches. And it's not one side of anything, it's all freaking sides. Don't say it's them, it's that side, but not this side, because you're just trying to gaslight the room and I won't tolerate it. Okay. Just, get out of here if you're in that place. You're probably not going to stay subscribed to me for very long if you're that kind of person. I don't do well with people like that. But yeah, I don't know why I had to say it. I just did. I just had to go there. I think if you have people who are in that kind of situation, but they're genuine, right? They're not people who don't know who they are. They're not people who if you have people that are getting freaked out by this kind of stuff and they do believe that there is something going on, share this video with them. Because what's really going on is they're getting used. They're getting ruined and made to serve another agenda. If they really do believe in an evil overlord or an evil cabal of politicians or whatever, What about the evil cabal of new age plastic Barbie doll, fear porn pusher Alex Jones, daddy issue, emotionally dysregulated, eating disorder crap? Probably a more efficient way to say that, and there's probably a lot more words I should have used. Couldn't that be considered a cabal? Because it certainly is. These are demons trying to get you, you know? Love is as love does, and evil is as evil does. So, I'm not really good at ending these things. I don't know how, but I think I've run out of steam. I feel like I've only been talking for 5 minutes, but it looks like it's been over half an hour, because I know how to rant. So, let's say some hellos to everyone who managed to show up and say hi to me. And yeah, guys, you know what? I'll be back with some more videos here soon. It's time to go. All of you people out there that are like, look, that do believe that you're going to save the world with memes and eating disorders, you need to go get real help. Don't go and try to don't go to people that are just as messed up as you for help. Go to people who have their shit together, not people who lie, not people who have to put on fakery, not people who rely on style over substance, not people who show off their money or their sham marriages and call it happiness, right? If you have to live a sham for a sense of order, you're obviously afraid to look at something in your life. I don't take advice from people that I know don't have more information about what I need advice on than me. I'm not talking about looks. I'm not talking about class. I'm not talking about finances. I'm not talking about accomplishments. Okay. I'm not trying to, institute like a nice, simple, Lego Duplo hierarchy here. I'm talking about people who have it down, not people who are figuring it out. That's one of the problems with this whole awakening thing is like what got trendy was come on my journey of whatever, follow my trail of destruction while I figure this shit out. No, drop it. Drop the amateurs, drop the life coaches, drop it all. Drop it all. Drop it all. If you want to learn about something, go to somebody that you trust that you already know is wise enough to help you. Don't go for what's relatable, right? Like for instance, for myself, I know there are areas of my life that I am really, really good and I'm very, very proficient. I don't often ask for a lot of help with. And if I do ask for help with it, I want somebody to that I know and can verify has gone further than me. And no, certificates and degrees do not convey that information, right? There's you need to go where you know this person. And why would you need to go where people have it, have it figured out. Not, I would not get relationship advice from somebody who I know is living a sham marriage. I would not get relationship advice from somebody who is still hopelessly and uh, is stuck in a banal obsession with their narcissistic whatever. I would not get advice on anything healthy from that. If I wanted advice on how to waste my time and ruin my life and, you know, make myself look real pretty doing it, I'll go to those people. But I'm not going to collaborate with wounded dysfunction in order to try and cobble together an idea for health if there is no interest in real health. And I urge you guys to do the same thing. Not going to work. Not going to work. Okay, so I'm sure Venus retrograde is going to be getting revenge on me because this is a very not Venus retrograde message. This is a very like, here she comes kind of message, but we'll deal. Um, I'm gonna say hi to some people, and maybe if you guys have anything you wanted to chat about, we can. I do gotta run here in like 10 minutes, but I figured, whatever, we can chill for a little bit longer. It's a special live. We could do something special on a special live day before the full moon. So again, hello Whitney. Hello Cynthia. Hi Sam. How you doing? How's the new job going? Let's see. Hello Joe. Hello Grounded Extracts. I've seen you quite a bit too. Hey, just observing. Hey, Kenny Chris. As delusional as they are, that doesn't give us the right to shun another human. This will pass. Is up to us to have the patience. I have to disagree. I have to disagree. You know, if the house is on fire, you don't wait for the fire to put itself out. No judgment to you, but we definitely disagree here. Okay. Um, let's see. Yep, just good old media too. No, yeah, can't get it go. Let it go unattended. Same person. Okay, there we go. I was watching a pretty intuitive astrologer for a while. Then they started calling people sheeple and reading tarot cards on top of political cloth. So awful. Yeah, sometimes those people are possessed, and sometimes those people are just unmasking themselves. But either way, Akurio Taisan, right? Evil entities disperse. All right. Hello, M. Hello, Amber. Okay. Kenny Chris, what inspired this? Sorry if I missed the explanation. Are you talking about charlatans and imitators on YouTube? I actually am. Well, they certainly got the welcome mat from these people. This is talking about conspiracy theories, fear porn mongers, histrionic people, in in those worlds, the people who turned the advancement of consciousness into a politicized 12-step program. The people who think that raising your consciousness and becoming a fully realized, conscious, spiritual, multidimensional being, a capable spiritual practitioner and witch and metaphysics expert, somehow begins and ends with kratom, green juice, and fighting imaginary reptiles. So those people. But really what inspired this had to do with focusing on the it was a reaction, and a big reaction to the state somebody was left in. Again, a friend of mine, she and I were talking last night and today, and we were texting, and there's a guy that's really important in her life, and he's basically been rendered kind of stunned. And when I say stunned, I mean like paralyzed, in this sort of downward spiral. And it's all because of this. And it's like, wait a second, I thought this was supposed to be high vibe content. How come he's spiraling out of control? You know what? I hate these people. This is a great opportunity for me to go and talk about why, but also, reach out and go, hey, what about guys like this? Look at what they're doing to guys like this. And guy like that, because I got some people like you in my life too, who I care about very, very much. You're feeling this way because they want you to feel this way. You're feeling this way and suffering because they want you to suffer, because that makes them money, right? It's kind of like people who crank out nursery school wisdom through self-help and personal development books, and they always have the same people coming to every webinar, and they consume every single book, and yet they get no real tools for growth. They kind of count on you being sick. They kind of count on you being scared. They kind of count on you being confused. They kind of count on you being stunned to keep making money. Hey, Laura. Okay. Ouch, this live is perfect timing. Trying to leave people who I've recently realized want to stunt my growth. Very fear-based. I don't like it. It is my life. Yeah, there you go. Aurelia. Aurelia. Awesome. Hello, Tisha. Hello, Gargoyle Mistress. That's a name I haven't seen in a good while. Okay. Looks like we're going to wrap up here, guys. Just want to do, of course, a little bit of crowd work, but then I got to bounce. M, today's my birthday. Happy birthday, M. Awesome. It's like if you watch The Simpsons all the time, believe everything on it, it'll drive you nuts. There you go. There you go. You know what's kind of funny with The Simpsons? There was an episode, in a Halloween episode. This was a long time ago, guys. Because remember, I'm actually older than I look. I believe this is like 1994. And there was a Halloween episode where a bunch of these advertising mascots came to life and they were completely destroying the city. And funny enough, the way that they got rid of the advertising mascots was to just don't look. And like Paul Anka sang a song about it. And it was just basically, you know, don't look at them, don't watch monsters, that kind of thing. And as soon as you turned away, they kind of like they lost their powers and they just started collapsing and falling apart and, shattering. And that's kind of what's going on with all of these, media demons. So, you can, right? Hey Deborah, hey All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce. Just a little bit of a rant. I need to get out there because, good God, for those of you who are super sensitive about tier 2 cussing, I do it. So just get over it. But yeah, I will. I don't think I'll be ranting. Well, maybe I'll rant again a little, no, but it won't be rant. I need to get. I need to go. I got some stuff to do today, preparing for the full moon. But you take care, okay? I will see you all again soon. And yeah, like I said, just if you want to just share some thoughts, with some people kind of getting down the rabbit hole. Don't bother sharing this with people that are just like looking for energy and that are just looking for attention because there are people out there who know when they're joining a cult and they do it on purpose. That's not the kind of person I'm talking about here. I don't care about those people. But if you know somebody who is actually genuinely, they know who they are, they just happen to be, somebody who is maybe very, very tuned in and they're kind of having their signal jacked by this, send this to them. Okay. So I will see you all again soon. You guys take care. And thank you so much to those of you who dropped by. All right. Have a good one and blessed be.